imagine that you're going to predict how your life goes.
Okay.
Well, you can kind of do that. No, you kind of know that tomorrow is going to be somewhat like today. Okay, but how much is next year's day going to be like today? Well, somewhat, but less certainly, because you might get sick, for example. And then over a 5-year period, well, there's much more that has to be accounted for. And so the probability that your prediction is correct decreases as you move forward in time. That's why we discount the future, right? So if you ask people, you want $5 now or do you want $5 in a month? They're going to say, well, I want $5 now. Well, you think, well, why is that? Well, if I have it now, it's certain. A month, well, there's a lag in there and anything could happen. And you can play games with people this way. And because people differ in the degree to which they discount the future, because how seriously to take the future is actually a near computationally impossible task to solve. How seriously should I take the future? Well, it depends on how uncertain things are. How uncertain things are they? Well, I don't know. Classic example. There's a chicken. And the farmer goes out every day and feeds the chicken. And the chicken thinks, man, I've got a good friend in this farmer. And then one day it's dinner time. And the chicken's the main course. Right? And so the poor chicken used induction to derive certainty. The farmer comes every day. He didn't realize there was a massive flaw in his theory. And one day that flaw reveals itself and everything falls apart.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense when you're talking about chickens and farmers. But
Yeah.
when you're talking about human beings and
so we could
CO2...
play a future. Well, we could play a future discounting game. So this is how this sort of thing is calculated, this discount curve. So I could say, I'll give you $5 now or $5 in a week. Which one do you want? And people say $5 in a week. Then I say, okay, I'll give you $5 now or I'll give you $10 in a month. It's like, okay. $10 in a month. Okay, I'll give you $5 now, or I'll give you $750 in 2 weeks. Or I'll give you $50 now, or I'll give you $500 in 10 years. And so imagine you do that with all sorts of amounts over all sorts of time frames.
Okay.
Then you can compute a discount curve, which is how much people devalue the amount a dollar is worth as it progresses out into the future. And what you generally find is that impulsive people discount the future more heavily. That's actually the definition of impulsive. And you might think, well, the impulsive people are wrong. It's like the ant and the grasshopper. You know, the grasshopper's fiddling all summer and then he starves to death in the winter, and the good old ant who packed away the supplies he's doing fine in the winter. He sacrificed the present to the future, and isn't that sensible? Yeah, it's sensible. You should save. Except, well, what if it's 1920 in Germany, 1923, let's say, and you're in a period of hyperinflation? It's like grasshopper won because he spent all his money before it became worthless. So should you save or not? The answer is, it depends. And then there's a further answer, which is, it depends on things that you actually can't predict.